Burgard Lippy out here to 3699 Ranch, Saturday morning, the 22nd. Lawn's all greened up, it rained, the sun's going up into a cloud. But last Saturday it would rain and then it would quit, and I would cover the onions and then uncover them, and I think it rained out our steam thresher. And lots of good rain. Back mown again. The Mexican sunflowers have reached the height of the Zenna. So it's about competition on those, and I should have waited on planting the Zenna after but I planted them all at the same time. And the Mexican sunflower did not like the competition apparently, but I'm going to have some and I'll try it again. And that's the way with those onions. Being, got a crescent moon, barely make it out. Yeah, the sun went up into the cloud. The alfalfa is another thing, when you read about it, it does not like competition. That's one of the challenges of growing alfalfa, which was introduced here from Europe. Still early, pretty minimal harvest quantity, but had never did this before out of those seedlings. Didn't bother bringing the scale out. I didn't have anything, like in the 2-pound area by a long shot. The garlic turned out beautiful. That music, that was a first also, and it was very mild at first, but I can tell as it dries out, it's more pungent, and it's a little more hotter. Like this is a hotter garlic anyway, but it's like a potato when you first pull it out of the ground, the way it tastes. Some excellent table fare on these onions. I could take these over and get first place, no doubt. The fair starts today, and no one competes anymore, and that's another story about the county and the government. Basically, this is a garden video. There's 70, 60 some or other, maybe even could be 80. These are going to get thrown out. They're tropical plants. I live in Ohio. It's not working. I've tried for 4 years, so I'm done trying. If I lived in Florida, I would have a whole patch of those. If I lived somewhere tropical, but I don't. There's emerald and jade over here. 2 hemlocks. And then, so the plan is these all come out. And there's Harlow over there. But I was hoping I would have this done yesterday, and the way things go. It's out here in the garden. I went to a show that had been smaller every year, and then I didn't even enter the show. I drove up to the town and drove right back. But what about that? Oh, just, allocating my time for the day. And I was out here and I didn't get started till later because I was watching YouTube in the morning, and I stirred up a horsefly between here and the barn or somewhere and the house, and I got bit by horseflies a few times on the back before I went in and took a shower towards lunchtime. Yeah, they were pissed off at something. My yellow whatever garden, everything really just took a big spurt into growth. I mean, I've got ears of sweet corn over there that are surprising me. I picked 2 pickles off of this guy that were like 6 to 8 inches, in excess of 6 inches. This plant here is a monster. And then there were 3 of them, and I pulled this one because I need 14 foot. I'm going to put 100 trees in here because there's already 25 over here in 2 different spots, and I don't want my trees in 3 or 4 different spots. And I transplanted 10 of these guys back to the pond. Talk about wish I would have got more done, and I need to transplant all these, but July the 22nd is like the worst possible date as far as I'm going to need to bucket the water to them through the dry seasons, which July's the wettest month on record statistically, and it's supposed to rain all next week, but it dries up, so you don't plant trees in July. That's the worst month probably, and then so I'm going to hold off on these because there's only so much time I can be bucketing water up there to the trees I planted, and I already got 10. And this soil is different soil than over here, and this is my sandier soil because I like dump tons of sand in here, and thinking that I would grow trees. And so I'm jerking this one. I didn't do it yesterday, but this monster Turk Sturban plant's coming out, and at 2 feet wide and 4 rows of trees at 7 inch apart, it would be 14 foot long, and 28 inches is less than 3 foot, more than 2 wide. Would fit in here with enough room for the tiller to go around this side, or maybe even plant a side crop in, and then the trees will be here. They're going to spend the winter out here. It's still a while, I think. I always pull my carrots too early, and then they go in the freezer, but those carrots still have a while, possibly up to a month. I would say 3 weeks, and because I always pick them early. The wildflowers done phenomenal. Not sure what these guys are. This one I damaged with the tiller. I'll trim this up. Some of these wildflowers fell over, and so I cut them off. They were ugly, all laid out on the ground trying to upright themselves. And this is the best year that I can remember, and I've had some pretty good years too recently, but usually the corn gets laid out flat completely. My onions got hit by hail last year. The pepper plants are starting to look like some of the best ones I ever have grown as far as leaf turn. The leaves just look very healthy. I noticed over here there were pickles, and they're like little hairy ones. So I'll be picking some here pretty soon. I figured I would be by now, and I figured it'd be hard to do on camera too. That's a nice looking plant, and it comes out with these, and it'll come out onto these. It comes out onto the pine trees, and it just wraps its way right around the tree. So they're too tight also, and this soil I don't like it as much as the sandy. And I'm moving all my trees over there on approximately a 7-8 inch spacing, and I'll have them all on a grid. There'll be 100 trees there, the 80 or whatever, 70 plus the 20 or 30. The serranos are running small. Oh wow, there's a red one. That's kind of what you want, but they are small. They're going on my pizzas. It's my heat so far. My favorite cherry bomb is late. It's all get out, but it is early, probably still, July the 22nd. I'm happy with the asparagus, the sweet corn, the popcorn. I forgot I had this little area here too that maybe I could have planted trees, and it just wasn't going to work. I could take a few corn out. I'm not going to be using it anyway, probably. And I'm going to have more tomatoes than I need. I knew I would be late. I'm not sure why the camera just doesn't... I tried to get out here early. I mean, the sun's completely behind the cloud now. It's in the auto exposure. It's not hot this morning. Then I could have did with, half the tomatoes even. But that's going to be a nice year of sweet corn on that little. Yeah, you know, I just kind of remembered. They said that corn was short, and my one friend who grows it commercially, they like it because they pick up by hand the sweet corn. They don't have a picker, and it picks easy on them small. They prefer the smaller stalk, and that's what that is. That's a big ass. That's a nice ear of corn there. I didn't think those were going to make anything, and then I reached in here and grabbed a couple pickles the other day. A couple days ago, I just ate them last night, and I have a nice pickle plant. Still early on they're overpopulated carrots that'll go in the freezer, and the 100 pine trees, the Turk's Turban, the giant one. I can't do anything for them because I do not want 3 gardens, or I do not want a large garden. And I'm later this year than I usually am too, because it strings the work out. Or I'd have beans and, you know, 3 different gardens, and I don't want that. So something's got to give, and that giant one is coming out, and those trees are going to go in, and they're going to be taking up a lot of room of my garden also. But I found out that I had to get the trees. Where do you order a bare root tree today? I couldn't even tell you. You're going to need a couple $100 easily, and then lucky to get a handful of them, especially after the deer and everything considered, that'll make it. And so I'm growing my own from seed, and that's expensive enough because it would be $60 for the seed out of the 3 different orders on my 100 trees. So they're already 60 cents a piece. Doing it from seed at this rate. Thanks for watching my videos, everyone. Bogart Rippy out here by the Yellow Whatever Garden, the 22nd of July.